Okay, there's social media land. I hope you're ready. I'm getting ready to get my show started. I got 2-3 minutes. I'm just preparing everything, getting everything up, running, and ready. Let's see what we got here. Seeing something I hadn't seen before. Okay. Okay, let's go back and come out of this. Let's do it this way. I've had, we've got all this snow here. We got about 4 or 5 inches. And I kind of enjoyed it. Went out there and I shoveled it yesterday. And it snowed again last night and this morning. Had to go out there and do it again. And it wasn't bad. But I enjoy it. I'm like a little kid when it comes to stuff like that, And I was enjoying it. I was outside, and I just took advantage of the situation. That's all I did, was took advantage of the situation. And I did have fun, though. I got to admit to myself, I enjoyed being out there.
Okay, hold on for one moment, please.
What is it, baby? I'm going live. I'm live now. Oh, okay. As my sound stage tell me that I got people waiting on me to come online, so let me go ahead and do.
To William Murray's series, The Road to...
Yeah, I was a couple minutes late signing on, y'all. My bad. Okay, now, hello there. How are you?
You will now enter the conference.
Oh, see, I always forget this one daggone step, and it catches up with me, and it caught up with me this evening. Hello, how are you doing?
Doing great, Jackie Surratt from Alexandria, Virginia.
What's your name?
Jackie Surratt.
All right. I hope you like this, man. I'm gonna lay something on y'all this evening, man. I hope are you ready? Are you ready when I'm gonna lay on you this evening?
Yeah, I look forward to these type discussions. I have never dialed in, but I thought I'd dial in tonight.
Well, thank you. How'd you find out about the show?
I get these text messages every time you have a discussion, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you. Let me go
Somehow
ahead.
I got on your list. You sent them out, I guess, to several people, but
yeah, I
the
do.
first time.
Yep. Well, thank you for tuning in. Just hang in there. I'm gonna open up the lines later and we can talk. Let me get the show rolling.
Muted. Unmuted.
Hello, successionaires, and welcome to the talk show, The Road to Success. The show, The Road to Success, is a talk show about any and everything you want to talk about. Of course, we always have a main topic, but when I open the lines, it's open for you to ask questions. You can give comments, compliments, or just let us know what's on your mind. I'm Professor William Murray, your host and president of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. The Institute is an institute for entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs, or anyone that wants to live a better life and wants to learn the process of how. It is with the Millionaire Mastermind Institute where millionaire mindsets lifestyles, and business are made. We take you from idea to implementation and beyond. The show Road to Success is within and a spinoff of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. And as always, the God in me greets and blesses the God in you. This evening's show topic is, am I a slave? Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. What a conversation we're going to have. What a hell of a topic. Am I a slave? See, now that's a question that you've got to ask yourself. You've got to ask yourself that question. Am I a slave? Now, it's going to be some mind change this evening. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you got bad feet or bad corns on your feet, you might want to put them in your pocket, because I'm kind of going to be stepping on a few this evening. I may lose some listeners behind the topic and the things I'm going to give you and teach you this evening. But my job is to open your mind. And I'm a mindologist. So I work on your thought process. And I educate you on various things and show you things you haven't seen and teach you things you haven't heard. Like I said, this week's show is titled, Am I a Slave? Like I said, that's a hell of a question, which the answer is going to shock many of you. It really is. Got no most of you said, no, I'm not. Everybody out there who's a slave, hold their hand up. Hold your hand up if you're a slave. Hold your hand up if you're not. All right. We got it going both ways, y'all. So you have to look at the question and you, in a deep process of the question, and understand the meaning of the word slave. It doesn't mean you got to have chains on you and like it was back 100 and some years ago, 150 years ago or so. But slave, we're gonna get into that, and you're gonna understand, and that's why I say, if you're not a slave, hold your hand up. If you are a slave, hold your hand up. And I want to see how many of you change your perception once I give you this to prove to you that you are a slave. Those of you that turn into my show know I give you some heavy thought and information that you have to define in your seeking and learning process of growth. This show is to grow. I help you grow. Being a mindologist, I educate to open your mind. I often teach you about the third eye and third ear. Well, this one tonight is going to give you some of that third eye. You can see that third eye and hear with that third ear. Because like I told you, the third eye never blinks. And the third ear never goes deaf. Like I said, I might lose some of you tonight. I might. Because, this is subject you are not willing to accept and believe. But I'm going to show you something tonight. I'm excited about this. And if I was in front of a completely auditorium and law, like I usually do, where I speak to hundreds and thousands or thousands of people, and then I ask you the question, are you a slave? Hold your hand up. And how many hands I would see. And then after the presentation, I ask you, are you a slave? How many few hands? How many more hands will go up? I got a question for you. Let me do this way. When did you stop being a slave? Boy, do I have a surprise for y'all. Do I have a surprise for y'all? Here's what I'm going to do. Let me get this ready and give you the definition of a slave. All right. I want y'all to listen to this.
It's the same. The definition of a slave. What is a slave? A slave is a human being who is owned as property by another and is absolutely subject to the will of his or her owner.
Oh, yeah. Listen up. Listen up.
Okay? Some of you say, no, I don't fit that one. Let me share something with you that y'all may not know. The original, now notice what I'm saying, the original
Yes.
purpose or meaning of the marriage was a certificate of ownership. Y'all know that, did you?
Uh-oh. Here we come. Here we
The
come.
certificate of marriage means that you are my property. I'll read the definition again. A slave is a human being who is owned as property by another and is absolutely subject to the will of his or her owner. That's not the end of the definition. Next part of the definition is a slave is a bond servant divested of all freedom and personal rights.
Listen up. Listen up.
Another part of the definition, check this part out now, listen carefully. A slave is someone who is completely dominated by an influence, a habit, a person, an entity, or a system.
Just stepped on some toes.
I'll read that one again. Somebody says, I think that one got me.
Yep.
A slave is someone who is completely dominated by an influence, a habit, a person, an entity, or a system. For example, if you're in the military, you're...
Now, y'all got the definition of a slave. And I know that touched some of y'all. Or should I say it touched some of y'all. Am I a slave? You see, my job, like I say, being a mindologist, is to open your mind. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me get into your mind. See, in my studies and research, my eyes have been opened to understanding more the system and its reasoning as to why it is as it is. Now, I often tell you, this system is not broke. The system is not broke. The system is doing just what it was designed to do. What we have to do is work, vote, and change that which is wrong. Me, I'm still learning. I am still learning. See, here's the thing. The more you understand the system, the better off you will definitely be. Y'all know on some of my shows, I break it down. Now, this is Black History Month, February. I'm going to give y'all some stuff this February. Everything's going to be centered on black folks. The system, how to get what you want, and the history of us and the history of this system. I'm going to cover everything. Now, I know I got a show coming up Friday. You also want to tune into that show because it's going to be titled Black Facts or Myth. And I am going to surprise you with what is a myth and what is a black fact. So you're going to want to tune into my next show Friday. See, am I a slave depends on you and your understanding and actions behind that understanding. Let me do that again. Am I a slave depends on you and your understanding and action behind that understanding. See, your understanding of the system gives you a more comfortable, at ease life, and the understanding of why. See, that's one of the great questions you got to ask yourself and answer. You have to ask and answer. Let's look at the system and how it makes you a follower. A pill popper, unhealthy, dependent, and a customer. Let me get into that a little bit. Let me get into this a little bit. The system, how it makes you a follower. Now here's what I explain a lot, especially to the youth, about the system. The system is designed to make you a follower. One of the biggest examples of that just happened for the last 4 years. How a lot of people became a follower in a system that also is a cult. Oh my Lord, it's a cult. I hadn't thought. Following the past number 45 is more like a cult. And it makes you a follower. But look how many people had no idea that they were breaking a federal law by going on the property of the nation's capital. They were just following those who were leading them to break a federal law. A lot of them knew because that was organized. And the leader led them into that. And I said a pill popper, because they always tell you, even you look at, and I'm going to get into television. I'm not going to get too much into that right now. But you're a pill popper because they tell you anything wrong with you, take a pill. Take a pill. You got commercials out there for stuff I never even heard of or thought of or had an inkling of. And they tell you, take a pill. You know, I read an article one time and it tripped me out. It totally tripped me out. How much money pharmaceutical companies pay people to name a disease, an ailment, or a sickness, or a symptom. They pay these people big money to name an ailment, a disease, or a sickness. That's their job. That's what they do. And you know, anytime you take a pharmaceutical, it's going to give you a side effect somewhere, which makes you unhealthy somewhere else. It also makes you dependent because it's a mental thing that they've got you believing that you take a pill, not realizing one of the questions you should always ask is, What is the side effect of me? There's not a pill you can take out there that is not going to somewhere give your system a side effect. And then you become a consumer because you got to buy that pill. Or that whatever they tell you it is, whether it's liquid or whatever, a powder, you become a consumer for that product. Question: when did you stop being a slave? When did you stop being a slave? So just a heavy question. I'm going to get in your mind now. I'm going to get into your mind now. I'm really going to get into your mind now. Let's look at our educational system. It is mind control. Education is mind control. You know, I tell you, you've heard me say this many times. For those of you who have been to my classes or tuned into my shows or tuned into my teachings, I tell you, I can control you from the day you born till the day you die. I don't care if you live for 1 day or 100 years. I can control you. All I got to do is control 2 things. Your education and your diet. Your education. Whatever I teach you is mind control, because I'm teaching you what I want you to know, believe, and learn. That's mind control. I look at when now y'all know I'm a senior citizen. I look at when I was in high school in the 60s. The things they taught us that today we have found out is a total lie. A total lie. Well, you know what's the name? Discovered America. How the hell are you going to discover a land that's got millions of people in it? How you going to do that? Columbus discovered America. And that's what they told you. They taught you that. You know, that's like me coming to your house. I'm going to come to your house, walk and say, man, that is a nice TV. I think I'm going to discover that. And I'm going to take it home. Hello. Hello. Oh, no, man, you got a nice car? Oh, man, I'm going to discover that, brother. Oh, no, I got to discover that. Now that's mine. I go in your refrigerator. Oh, man, look at that. You got, man, look at all that food. I think I'm going to discover that and take it home. Now it's mine because I discovered. That's the same thing. You were taught that. Columbus discovered America. Man, how the hell are you going to discover a land that's got millions of people? Various tribes. And I'm going to tell y'all something else y'all didn't know. Do you know why red-skinned people are called Indians? Because Columbus thought he was in India when he landed on the shores of America. He thought he was in India. So that's why they're called Indians. Look it up. Look it up. The educational system controls your thought, the way you think, the way you see things, and what you know. If you don't do the research yourself to find out the truth, they got you. They got you. Y'all know I'm an information junkie, and all I do is research. I mean, that's my high. Watching TV and stuff has no value to me. Unless it's a documentary, then I'm going to check out the information on a documentary. Like I've been watching this one with this one doctor, and I realized this guy's a quack. He knows absolutely, he's always telling us all this stuff. And I'm saying, this guy don't know what the hell he's talking about. Because I heard him say something about natural herbs and how they aren't good for you, this and that. I'm thinking, man, are you out your mind? I'm living proof. I'm 70 years old and don't know what it is to be sick. I don't eat meat, pork, dairy products. I don't smoke. I don't drink. And I don't put pharmaceuticals in my system. Well, I have no ailments at the age of 70. None. As in zero. It centered on what I put in my system. It is what I have learned. I have learned that I have studied and taught myself. And then too, I got around people who were way before I was, were holistic. Baba Dick Gregory, my very, very, very dear friend for 37 years before he passed. My educator, my very dear friend. Brother Bay, he had a health food store down on 4th and 8th Street, Northeast Washington, D.C. Dr. Smith, who him and how I really, really met him, was he was giving a presentation one evening, and I was there at Brother Bay's. And he was on stage, and I needed him to clear something up for me about ancient civilizations. And him and I got to going back and forth. I'm serious. For 5 minutes, him and I was going, back and forth. And he told me, he said, hell, who are you? He says, man, come up here on stage, man. Let's mean you have a conversation right here on stage in front of the people. And I went up there, and him and I got, for about 20 minutes, man, him and I was just throwing out information and questions and all this kind of stuff. And he ended up telling me, you know what? He said, man, this is one of the best presentations I have given, because you opened up something that made me give a meaning, and then there's things that you said that I hadn't spoke on in years. He says, this was fantastic. I'll never forget that as long as I live. Dr. Smith. And then that showed me how much I knew about ancient civilization because of the books I had read, the people I was around, because I put myself around knowledgeable people. Who's in your circle? Like I say, show me your friends, and I'll show you your tomorrow. Mind control. Are you studying, researching, and getting the facts on what it is you don't know, you want to know, or you're learning? Who's teaching you? The system have you in a mind control. The system has you in a mind control. Now, let's look at television. It's mind control. You look at the show, the programs. Oh man, TV is just, you talking about mind control. Television, television. Now think about the word television. They're telling their vision, and you're looking at it and eating it up. I remember growing up, man, and one of the biggest shows out there when I grew up was Tarzan. And right today, they got you believing that Africa is an uncivilized nation. They keep showing you these huts, these ghettos, but they don't show you the cities. Do you realize that Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, is diagrammed from an African city? They use the outlay of an African city to do Washington, D.C. and other cities. If you went straight down from the White House and you went straight up 16th Street, which is right in front of the White House, 16th Street. If you did a straight line, man, you go right to the pyramids. A straight line takes you there, baby. Look at the Washington Monument. That is designed exactly like the sphere in Africa. Television has you so brainwashed. And look at the news. You know what their main line is? If it bleeds, it leads. Now, when you look at TV, every time they talk about a crime or something happened, who they show? They show people who look like me, who look like you, who are black. That's mind control. They got the colonizers out there thinking that we're nothing but thugs, hoodlums, and drug addicts. Because every time they talk about who they show, they don't tell you there's no black on black crime. Well, hell, there's China on Chinese crime here in the country. There's Asian on Asian crime here in the country. And do you realize that 83% of all white people that are murdered or killed in this country are killed by other white people? 83%. But you don't never, ever hardly see that. Mind control. They got these black women out here thinking, there ain't no good men. Ain't no good men. There are good men. You got to be that for what you want. If you want a good man, be a good woman. And vice versa. But they got you convinced. Now, here's the thing that I don't get. You'll go to a black business, which there aren't many, but there are, that we're growing. And I'll make a mistake. And you will hold that mistake against me and not patronize me. But let a white business make a mistake on you and you will patronize him the next day. Mind control. They got you believing that black folks ain't shit. Period. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth and that's the way it is. Now, here's what you don't realize. You say it's the other person. It's the other person. Hey, man, you got to realize that everybody else, you are that other person. You, your family members, your daughter, your wife, your brother, your sister, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, they're the other person to everybody else but that one individual person. So you say, not me. Not realizing to everybody else you're that other person, so it is you. Mind control, baby, mind control. Oh, now let me get into this. Let's look at what you are being fed in diet. It's health control. Now, you heard me tell you a while ago that I don't smoke, drink, eat meat, pork, dairy products, no pharmaceuticals, nothing like that in my system. I don't eat fast food. I cook every day or either every other day. All depends on how much is left over from the previous day. But I cook. I don't eat fast food. My wife and family don't eat fast food. And we don't know what it is to be sick. Why are we not sick? I've never taken a shot since I was a kid. I've been holistic now for 40, a little over 40 years. How come I don't catch cold? How come I don't catch the flu? How come I don't have sinus? I don't have allergies. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have cholesterol. I don't have diabetes. Why? Because of my diet. Now, I got a question for you. Now, I want you to think about what I'm getting ready to say to you. Think about this. Like I told you, I'm mind logic. I want you to make you think. You go to a store. Don't care what store it is. One of these big stores got them all over the country. And they got, within the store, they got a health food aisle. Well, if they got a health food aisle, what the hell is the rest of the store? They got a food aisle just for health food. Then what's the rest of the store? Right, it's garbage. But you don't think, wait a minute, they got a health food aisle? What's that saying about the other 10 or 12, 15, 20 aisles in the store? I often tell you, if it doesn't have a seed, if a fruit does not have a seed, It was man-made. God put a seed in every fruit. I just did a show, last week? What was it last week when I broke all that down? I did a whole show on nothing but diet and food and how you eat. And I told you how to cook. Go back and look at the show on YouTube. MRWMURRY, Mr. W. Murray. And look at the show I did on health and diet and get an education. Just like this one tonight is Am I a Slave? That was health and diet. And look at it. Take an hour and look at it. If you want to figure out how to get, because here's the thing about your diet. I told you I can control you for your whole life if I control two things, your education and your diet. Your diet, what I feed you will tell me you're going to have a sickness. And you got to use one of my pharmaceutical drugs in order for that sickness. It's business. It is business. You got watermelon, no seed. Come on, God didn't play. How you gonna grow something if you don't have a seed? Grapes, how you gonna grow something if it don't have a seed? There are so many things out there that they have now don't have seeds. I don't buy them, nor do I eat them. Because God didn't plant it and God didn't grow it. Man did. You got all these HMOs on all this other stuff in these foods. You better learn how to live and eat holistic. Because now here's the thing. All of us want to live a life of longevity. Am I correct on that? Do you want to live a life of longevity? Well, if you do you want to live your life of longevity in pain? Do you want to live it in pain? See, I know I'm going to live a life of longevity. For one thing, longevity runs in my family. I got a 95-year-old aunt right now. I got a 90-year-old aunt. My uncle just passed. He was in between the 90 and 90, so he was. And then my grandfather died. He was almost 90. My sister passed. She was almost 80. So we have a life of longevity in my family. I don't want to get old in pain. If you want to live a life of longevity, you better start eating right so you won't live it in pain. Now, let me break something else down to you. Stop putting colognes and perfumes on your skin. What goes on your skin goes in your skin. It drinks it. It sucks it up. All you ladies are using all these chemicals on your hair. Do you realize your hair is a living entity? What goes in your hair goes in your system. It's slowly poisoning you. It's slowly giving you ailments. It's slowly going to give you aches and pains. That's why I say you've got to learn how to be holistic. Y'all, there is no greater beauty than natural beauty. There is no greater beauty than natural beauty. God knew what he was doing when he made your hair nappy, when he made your lips thick, your nose wide, your eyes brown. There's a reason for that. So you've got to learn about health. Like I told you, go back and look at my show, Health and Diet, and learn. Because I laid some heavy stuff on that show. It took me a while to put together that show and that education. You want to watch that. Why are you letting someone control your body, your family's body, and all it's going to do is make you sick later on? And ladies, oh God, ladies, stop putting your cell phone in your breast, in your bra. They're finding out now that in the long run, it causes you to have breast cancer. Because of the radiation stuff it's putting out. Ladies, stop putting your cell phone in your bra. You're supposed to put your phone anywhere in a case. on your hip or something, or in your purse, but never in your pocket or in your bra. Men, you don't want to do that either. They got you, I'm telling you. Now, see what I'm saying? Are you a slave? Am I a slave? You're a slave to the system. Now, oh Lord have mercy. Let's look at the prison system. It's people control and annihilation. Let me explain to you about the prison system. I did a show called Projects. The system works fantastically correct. The system works fantastically correct. Here's what they did. They got this from, well, see, that's an experiment. See, I can't get in. I don't have time to get into all of this. The penal system is put together to hold black people back. Look at this racism going on now. How they killing us. How they pulling us over for a tail light and killing us. Or how they putting us in jail because we didn't use a turn signal. Now you're in jail, you got a record. Now when you get out, now you got a record. You want to go get a job, you can't do it. Because you got a record. Okay. You can't vote if you got a felony. But now, like I said, we worked on and protested and marched many years before they finally opened up. And some states says if you're a felon, you can still vote. But you got a lot of states ain't doing it. They find that ways to suppress you from voting. Y'all don't realize the power of the vote. We woke up in 2020 and went out and voted. We learned the power of black folks and the power of that vote. We can change the laws, and I tell you, we got to change them. It's up to us. And we got to change the penal system. See, y'all don't realize when Biden did the sign that document. Can't think what it's called right now. And said we're going to shut down or not be able to open up any more private prisons. Because the private prison is business. Look at how many judges they done busted who were crooked, who were putting people in jail for periods of time that didn't fit for the crime that they committed or the injustice of what they were accused of. I remember years ago, if you went to jail, you come out with a degree, a college degree. Well, they stopped doing that years ago. They don't educate you going and get a high school diploma. You can't do that no more. As long as they got you in the system, they got you. It's up to us to change that. That vote, that vote is what's going to take for you to do for us to change that. The penal system is against us as a people. Television against us as a people. Educational system is against us. Let me explain something about the educational system too. Black history did not start with slavery. Black history ended with slavery. You go look at how great you were, how you had the first running water in your house, how you had pharmaceuticals and herbs to cure you, which is God's nature to cure you. Do you realize that your body is the most perfect mechanism on earth outside of Mother Nature? Your body is a perfect mechanism. You're putting poison in it when you eat that garbage that you eat. Fast food. Meat. people, your system was not meant to eat meat. Pork. Jesus Christ, that is one of the worst things you can ever put in your system is pork. You can't poison a pig. Whatever a pig eats goes into a system. It's fat. A pig doesn't even have veins. So when you eat pork, you're eating what he ate because you're eating the fat of the pig. And everything he ate is in that fat. And a pig will eat you. He's all pork. He's in everything. And you're eating what he eats. Now, let's do this. Look at the system of not spending black. It is through blind and trust control. I told you, they got you convinced that if I make a mistake, you don't ever want to use my business again. But let a white man do it. Now, let me show you something about the system. Do you realize that every nationality boycotts black businesses? Even down to some black folks boycott black businesses. They tell you there's no money in the ghetto. There's more money in the ghetto than anywhere in America. You got all these foreigners or white folks coming into our communities and open businesses and make millions because we are consumers. And we spend every dollar we get, but we don't spend it with us. Let me give you, for instance, in 2019, for Christmas, black folks, for that one holiday, spent $67 billion for one holiday, one day. Black people in America spent $67 billion, and we didn't spend it with people who look like us. So what are we doing? We are financing our own demise. We're financing our own demise. We've got to learn to trust each other. See, the system that tell you don't trust them. Don't trust black folks. They're thieves, hoodlums, drug addicts, and all this other stuff. And you eating it up and not realize, hey, they're talking about me. They're talking about my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my wife, my cousin, my friend. They're talking about you. Are you a slave? Yes, you are. Because you're a slave to the system until you open your mind. Now let's look at if the system gave each and every one of us $50,000, let's say they give everybody $50,000, it will all end up back to the very people that gave it to us. And we will be just as broke or poor as we were before. Whatever money they give us, we spend it, but we spend it with them. We don't spend it with us. Just think we just spent that $67 billion with black businesses. You spend it with someone who don't give a damn about you, don't care about your community. So you're financing your own demise and your family's own demise. Because if you would have spent money with me and I grew my business, I would hire people that look like me. It might be you, your mother, your father, your wife, your child, your uncle, your friend, because that's who I'm with. Now, I've got employees. And almost all of them look like me. A majority of them look like me. Look at your black business. Who they are. People look like them. But you don't even understand why you're struggling trying to get a daggone job. Because we spend our money with somebody who don't care about us. For me, as I learn, I can feel the chains falling off of me as I learn. My mind opens up. Am I a slave? Yes, to some of the system somewhere. But like I often tell you, when your mind is a weapon, you're unfit to be a slave. My mind is a weapon, as you can tell. My mind is a weapon. So I'm unfit to be a slave. But when your mind is open and aware, you have power over that system. Don't ask me, how do I know this? You're asking the wrong question. The question you should ask is, how come you don't? Education, study, research. shows like this to open your mind, to give you something to think about, to change your life so you can make it better for your family and your friends and your people. When your mind is a weapon, you unfit to be a slave. I can't be a slave. I'm a dangerous black man because I am educated, knowledgeable. Let's say knowledgeable. I want y'all to go to Ray Hagins, y'all. Go to Ray. The dude's name is Ray Hagins. Rayhagins. And his name is When Did You Stop Being a Slave? You got to listen to that. Now, this is my second time doing this presentation, and it's different from the first one. So I've got one on talking about Am I a Slave? And this one's called Am I a Slave #2. And they're different. Same outline, just different information. So you want to watch both of those. Am I a Slave? On my YouTube channel. MRWMURY. See, until we become self-reliant, we will be slaves. Do you know I go out of my way to spend the black dollar? I went 34 miles further than a Walmart or a Target just to go spend a black dollar on something that I wanted. I could have got it right up the street, 5 minutes from my house. But I drove 34 miles to spend that black dollar for that one item. It's worth it to me. I fed a black family. I helped a black business grow. Until we become entrepreneurs and hire our own, we will be begging our oppressors to care for us and feed us. And here's the thing about it. When we give them the right to feed us, we give them the right to starve us. Look at what's going on now. Look at what happened when they shut down the government. We give them the right to feed us, so we also gave them the right to starve us. I give so much food away, y'all. I give food away to the people needy. I got neighbors who I know aren't eating and got the money to do, so I do give them food. They got children. I find out, are you okay? Because except for the grace of God, there go I. We must build our own national black Wall Street. That's up to us. Can't nobody do that but us. Nobody. The Millionaire Mastermind Institute is somewhere you can come to get your African mind. You can learn all about entrepreneurship, understanding, and know-how. That's what we do. I've got all these educators. This is my 45th year as an entrepreneur. 45 years I've been an entrepreneur. You think I can't teach you something? I put on seminars, webinars. I bring all these brilliant minds in. You wait. Now I'm gonna do an educational day. This will be about an 8-hour day, where I'm gonna give you everything from A to Z about business. I'm gonna help you get all your license and everything, make your business legal. Free your mind, y'all. Free your mind. Free your mind. Free your mind, and your ass will follow. What I want you to do is just keep learning and working on your road to success with William Murray and the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. All you got to do is dial 240-619-2019. I'm here. You want to talk to me and find out about how you start a business, what you need to do? Call the number 240-619-2019. I'm here. I'm going to let you know more about that class I'm putting together. It's going to be about 8 hours. It might be 2 days. I haven't decided if I'm going to do 8 hours or just do a 2-hour day or 4-hour day. We're still working on it. All I can tell you right now, everyone, class is dismissed. Lines are open for those who we don't have long. I talk long, y'all. We got about 7 minutes. Somebody talk to me. Talk to me. Lines are open. Oh, let me do this. Let me mute everybody. All you got to do is speak up. All you got to do is speak up. Somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me.
Mr. Murray.
Yes.
Hello. You have really given a lot of "Are you a slave?" information tonight. And my sentiments, we are slaves to life. Everything that you mentioned is life.
Yep.
The diet, even down to the cologne and perfume. life. So how do you get out of not being a slave to life?
Listen to me. Listen to people who know like me. See, you got to turn that ignorant tube off. Pick up a book. Call me. I'll give you stuff to read. I mean, I've got. Oh, I don't have it out here. Yes, I do. See this book? You can't see it, but those online, you see this book? It's called Alternative Medicine. I have read 3/4 of this book. It's about every herb out there almost that exists and what it cures. Called Alternative Medicine, the definitive guide. And right now, I paid almost $100 for my book, but I've had it for so long, so many years. I told someone about it. Right now, you can get that same book for under $35. I paid almost $100 for it years ago. That's a heck of a book. You've got to listen to what people like me tell you. You've got to research it, and you have to work. You have to work a different system. See, the system that they put together works because they've got you. Now, the question I'm still asking y'all, am I a slave? Am I a slave? Now, how many of y'all held your hand up first and says I'm not a slave? After my presentation, how many of y'all would not hold their hand up?
We are slaves.
Yes, you are. You're slaves to the system. But they don't.
Slaves.
But it works. The system, I told you the system works. And it's not the
Well,
system.
what is the system if that's not life?
But
Because
see,
of the things that you name, it's our walk of life. I mean, yeah, we know the cell phone in the female's breast, the diet, the news, the TV. I mean,
didn't I tell you?
everything that we do is part of life, and you do become a slave to it. You can be a slave to food, not
Yes.
talking about the diet, but just food in general.
Babe, but
You
if
can
you
be
eat,
a slave to alcohol.
if you're eating correctly, if you're eating correctly, if you're eating correctly, I eat correctly. I love to eat. I love food. I ain't gonna tell you, I love to eat. But it's what I eat. It's what I eat. You can't get me in a restaurant. I don't know what the people back there are doing. I don't know where the food came from. If I buy it and I cook it, I know. You know what they're doing back there in those kitchens. Dropped on the floor, stepped on, pick it up, put it in the next thing they serve it to you. You don't know where it come from. What seasoning did they use? So you don't know. And the thing about it, it catches up with you. It might not do it all at once, but it's going to catch up with you. And you're going to, if you live a life of longevity, you're going to live it in pain. I don't want to live my life of longevity in pain. I got about 30 more years in my life left. You think I want to be in pain for 30 years? Ain't no way. No way do I want to live 30 years in pain. That's why my diet is, and my wife and my kids never got sick. Why? Because of the diet. Most important thing in your life is your diet. And that even goes to your education, your diet of what you put in your mind. Because what you control what goes in and control what comes out. You got to learn to do what's good for you. Education. I told you, I got all this stuff on my YouTube channel. I've got over 170 videos. I've got classes out there that I've done, where you can watch them and learn how to put a business together. Where you can go out there and do and learn how to be business legal. That's what I teach. That's what you learn at the Institute. You don't have to go get a 4-year degree. Do you realize that most of the most successful business out there now, the owners didn't go to college? They hire someone who did. All you got to do is know who you need. See, those who know why, hire those who know how. Last week I gave you something on diet. I mean, I broke it down, y'all. Y'all got to go listen to that presentation. Health and diet. Just put in William Murray, health and diet. And watch and listen to it. And tonight you can go back and play this again, because I'm going to put this on YouTube, but it's also on Facebook. So you can go back and look at it again, listen to it again. You should always have pencil and paper when you're on my shows. And the one Friday I told you I'm doing is titled Black Facts and Myths. Oh, I'm going to rock y'all's world Friday. Because I'm going to break down and show you where what they've been telling you is a lie. Black facts and myths. Lines open, y'all. We got 1 more minute. Thank you, Miss Lady. Thank you. I hope I answered your question. Did I?
Well, I still have sentiments regarding am I a slave? And as I said, we are a slave to life.
Baby, it's more not to life. You're a slave to the system. You're a slave to the system. Not life. You're a slave.
Well, this is life. Everything that you mentioned is part of us.
There's a difference. There's a big difference between a slave of life and a slave of the system. They aren't the same thing. They are not the same thing. Because look how many different systems are in this world. So being a slave to the system and a slave to life are two different things. Totally two different things. You got my number. I gave y'all my number, 240-619-2019. Call me. We'll talk. I'll break it down and help you. I can't do no more than that. But I need y'all to tell other people about my call. I need you to tell other people about the road to success. About the road to success. I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in and giving me the opportunity to put something on your mind and your brain, to give you food for thought. I always tell you, if you push me, I'll pull you. If you pull me, I'll push you. It doesn't matter whether I'm pushing or I'm pulling. Y'all, we're going to get there together. Why? Because I am making sure that you become a winner. You know I love you. And ain't nothing you can do about it. So until next time, y'all, God bless. Pass the word on to your family members, to your friends, to everybody, lottie-dottie, and everybody, and tell them about the road to success and the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. Look it up. Just put out there Millionaire Mastermind Institute. It'll come up. This is Professor William Murray telling you thank you. God bless. And keep working on your road to success and stop being a slave. Till next time, y'all. God bless.